Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you my collection of Pink Floyd Tour Programmes. I have all of them are replicas except for one that you will have to guess which one is not a replica, and I will show them in chronological order. So this is the first one. This is from the 1969 UK tour. This is a poster from one of the concerts in '69 in Leeds in particular. So you can see here some details, and at this time Pink Floyd was very experimental. Sid Barrett had just left, so they were trying to find their direction, and this tour program was done by Hypnosis. So you can see here from the very beginning Hypnosis working with Pink Floyd. So here are the dates in '69. Some adverts. Previous two albums. Piper at the Gates of Dawn and Saucer Full of Secrets. Some credits. So this tour, the guys were playing a suite called The Man and the Journey, which was composed of some songs from the soundtrack More, from Saucer Full of Secrets, and from the coming album Amalgam. So it was quite experimental at this time, actually. These are famous asses. They are the asses of John Lennon and Yoko Ono. So this is the tour program of 1969 UK tour. Next, I have this tour program from a series of concerts played by Pink Floyd in 1972 in the Rainbow Theatre in London. So this was in February 1972, and they played for not for the very first time, but it was one of the first time that Dark Side of the Moon was played. The album actually hadn't been released yet, so they were playing the album before actually releasing it. And here are the lyrics of the album, and actually some of the lyrics change a little bit in the final version of the release album. I think some sentences in Breathe change. The Pink Floyd Football Club. Some adverts. So this was 1972, the Rainbow concerts in London. And this is also from 1972, and I think this was also early, probably. Actually, these are concerts in the US in 1972. So you can see here the dates. And at this point, later in 1972, it wasn't called Dark Side of the Moon, it was called Eclipse. Because they discovered that a band, I don't remember the name of the band, in the States, they had released an album with the name Dark Side of the Moon. But afterwards, because that album didn't sell well, they went back to the name Dark Side of the Moon, and they released the album as Dark Side of the Moon at the end. So this is a tour program for the another part of the 1972 tour with the lyrics as well. And there is even some a little essay here about Pink Floyd. Next one is this 1974 tour program from the 74 part of the Wish You Were Here tour. So this was before releasing Wish You Were Here album. And this is the drawing by Gerald Scarfe. And these are the dates of the British Winter Tour 1974. So here some dates in the UK, and by this time they were singing Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which was going to be released in the Wish You Were Here album, and these two, Raving and Rolling and Gotta Be Crazy, which were songs that they were touring at this time, but they will not be released in Wish You Were Here. They will be released as Chip and Dog in the Animals album. And they were playing also the complete Dark Side of the Moon and finishing with Echoes. So the program is made like a comic book, and we have here some credits, and then each one of the members gets a story in the form of comic. So this is Roger Waters' story. He's a footballer and scores a hat-trick to save the day. The good old Roger. Then there are some information here about each one of the members of the band. This is the story of Nick Mason. He's the captain of a merchant boat that has to escape from U-boats in the Second World War. This is a drawing by Gerald Scarfe that I showed you before. So Gerald Scarfe is the cartoonist that helped them in that work as well in the Wall film. So this is a drawing in October 1974, and this is Gilmore. This is Richard Wright, Roger Waters, and Nick Mason. This is the story of Richard Wright. He's Rich Wright. He's rich and he's right. And this is kind of a quiz, some questions, Pink Floyd related questions. And this is the story of David Gilmour. And then here the lyrics for Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Raving and Drooling, which will be called Cheap later on, and Gotta Be Crazy, that is Dogs. And actually the lyrics then change, so these are not the lyrics that were released with the albums later on. So this is 1974 British tour for Wish You Were Here. Next one is this 1977 tour program from the In the Flesh tour in support of the Animals album. And here I have some of the dates in 1977. So they play mostly in Europe and the United States. And this is the list of songs that they were playing during the tour. So basically the Animals album, the Wish You Were Here album, and then finishing with Money from Dark Side of the Moon. So inside there are mostly some photos from the shooting of the cover of the Animals album, with the flying pig over the Battersea Power Station. Yeah, it suits the mood of the album. This tour program, very kind of dark and industrial feeling, kind of brutal feeling. And this was the first tour that it wasn't just the 4 members of the band, it was also an extra guitarist, Snowy White. So there were 5 people, five musicians. And this is the famous tour, which one, and the last concert of this tour in Montreal. It was when Roger Waters spat on the face of a fan that was in the concert. So this was during the shooting of the photo, and this was a sniper hired to shoot the pig in case it will fly. This is Snowy White, and this is Dick Perry actually. So Dick Perry was playing with them from since Dark Side of the Moon actually. So this is 1977 In the Flesh tour. Next one is The Wall, and from the tour In the Wall I have actually 2 programs. This one is from the 1980 concerts in London, and so the artwork is mostly Gerald Scarf's artwork from the film, and here are the lyrics of the songs. So this tour only was played in the United States in 2 cities in 1980, in Los Angeles and New York, and then in Europe it was played only in 2 venues, in London and in Dortmund in Germany. This is from the first concerts in London in 1980, I think. In Earl's Court. So all artwork by Gerald Scarf. And actually here I have it was, so this is the dates of the 1981 part of the tour in Dortmund and in London. In 1980 they played in Los Angeles and New York, and I think a few concerts in London, I'm not sure. And of course the track list is just the Wall album. And here I have another The Wall tour program. This is from the last concerts in London in Earl's Court in 1981. And it's a little bit different from the previous one, but still basically photos from the concerts and artwork by Gerald Scarf. And here the lyrics, but the lyrics are printed not in the font of Gerald Scarf's font, but just like normal font. And this is the end of the show when the wall came down. So this is 1981, the Wall Tour. And this is the last tour with Roger Waters, of course, because then just Nick Mason, David Gilmour and Richard Wright will continue. And this is the 1988 World Tour for in support of A Momentary Lapse of Reason. So actually this tour lasts from 87 to 89. It was a world tour, and so here are the 3 band members remaining in Pink Floyd at the time. This was a huge world tour, and then it was released in video and audio as A Momentary Lapse of Reason. Learning to Fly. And here's the rest of the crew during the tour. So this is 1988 World Tour in support of A Momentary Lapse of Reason. And actually here I have some of the dates in 1988 and the track list of this concert in Tokyo. Next one is the 1989 part of the World Tour. And this is, maybe you can recognize the artwork of the vinyl of A Delicate Sound of Thunder, which is the audio release of this tour. So this is 89 World Tour. Some credits here, and I remember once I read a funny credit here, but now I can't remember. Well, here it says original peak concept by Roger Waters. It's not really well written. Peak concept refers to the inflatable pig, of course. So this is 89 World Tour. And the last tour by Pink Floyd was the tour in support of the Division Bell in 1994, which was released as a video and audio called Pulse. And this also was a huge world tour with dates in the States and Europe. And this is the program. This is for the European tour. And they were sponsored by Volkswagen here, and they actually regret them afterwards. This, but there you are. Here there is some trivia, some questions. Discography. This is the poster I showed you before, actually. Some designs of the stage. And this is all the people that work during the tour, all the crew. So that's it. This is my collection of Pink Floyd Tour Programmes, and I hope you like it. They are all replicas, but there is one that is original. Can you guess which one? See you next time.